What's going on, beasts? This video is going to be a little bit hard to make. I'm going to talk about a topic that is very unsettling within the CrossFit community. Yesterday, I released a video about Greg Glassman and how I believe he sucks. Now, that video, I did get a little bit angry. I got very aggressive, and a lot of my anger was towards Greg Glassman and specifically what he said. I didn't really cover the issue of racism, which was the underlying factor of why so many other people were angry, and I talked a bit more about what he's done to the sport of CrossFit. Today's video is going to talk about the controversy behind MisFit and Chandler Smith around racism within the top athletes of the MisFit program. Now, there's a Reddit thread that talks about this whole situation, which I'm going to cover in one moment, but just before I start this video, I do want to say that I have never experienced racism myself. As a white majority Caucasian male, if I had blue eyes and blonde hair, I would literally be the tippy top of the white majority. But still, as the position I am, as a white majority, all I can do in a situation like this is make sure that the people in that minority field are heard. Make sure that I speak up for them and I do my best to educate myself on racism and exactly how we as a society can improve on that situation. With that being said, let's cover the topic of the MisFit debacle and what the athletes said. So this is some context behind the Reddit post. The MisFit crew apparently has a group chat with their top athletes where they share scores. A female athlete shared their score. Griffith, this is Jessica Griffith, responded with something along the lines of, "My N-word." When another athlete objected to use the word, that was Williams and Griffith's response. From what I can tell, they were both dropped from the brand shortly after, quietly. Look forward to Griffith's screenshot of the notes app saying, "Sorry if I offended anyone, I'm from the South, I have black friends, I'm not racist, blah, blah, blah." So the post was this. Travis Williams replied, "I'm too white privileged to see why that's offensive. You mad bro," sending little eye emoji. Then Jessica replied, "Chan man," which is towards Chandler Smith, "If you get mad at a white country Blumpkin girl saying the N-word, we've got bigger fish to fry. Sorry you're offended, but was by no means hateful. Big difference there." Now, Chandler Smith, who was the main reason why this all got out in the first place, literally just shared screenshots on his Instagram and pretty much called these athletes out for what it was. Good on him. This is, a huge part of the whole racism debacle is someone in his position who is considered a minority, but someone with a voice, didn't allow these type of people to make him feel any worse than he did. The post, however, continues. Later, this all came out that MisFit released a video about this whole debacle, how they've dropped the athletes and what they're going to do next. This was a very in-depth video, and I applaud the owner of MisFit for coming out and actually making this video. However, it doesn't stop there. Travis Williams posted an apology. Jessica Griffith deleted her account. Travis Williams' apology goes something like this. "I offended a lot of people by defending a phrase that I will not repeat. I did not mean any harm by defending this phrase, but I realize now that it was harmful and very insensitive. I apologize for the insensitivity of my comments. I'm completely devastated over how the many great people I've lost as friends over these texts. I hope in time you will see by my actions that I can change for the better. Thank you to all the people who have been brutally honest with me. I respect people that are honest with me, and I hope that everyone can continue to be honest with me. I'm someone who never sugarcoats, and I don't expect that from you. It would be easier for me to try and hide from everything coming my way right now, but that's not what I want to do. It shouldn't be easy. I definitely made a mistake, which you've all seen. It as a result of a larger issue and that's my lack of sensitivity and understanding, which I plan to improve. I want an opportunity to prove that I can be better. I hope that you can forgive me for this, or at least I can earn your forgiveness in time as I have become a better man. I know this type of apology doesn't really do much, but it's a start. From here, I need to get better. I'm talking to the smartest people I know, doing some research, listening and starting with myself to become more informed, just be an all-round better guy. Kind of like training, if you want to change, it's going to take a lot of time and practice. But I'm willing to put in the work. Sorry for the awful comparison, but fitness is what I understand best. Much love, Travis. Now, Chandler Smith did reply to his post saying, "Salute, all love, onwards." Meaning that he accepts the apology. Let's just move on. You know, it really just shows, like, completely off top, I already thought Chandler Smith was a pretty badass dude. And all the stuff around when he was, featured on things like the Buttery Bros, when him and Noah Olsen were together, he just shows that the kind of guy he is. He's a military man, he's a successful CrossFit athlete, and he really steps up for himself and doesn't allow things like this to happen. Now, just breaking down some of the things that Travis said, one of the big things that really resonate with me is how he didn't hide. He accepted the responsibility of his actions. Was his actions right? It's up to your interpretation of the apology and your opinion. I believe, obviously, like he said, there can be more done and more learning and education. However, these texts don't stop there. There's more released text from Travis Williams on this same topic. Even with this apology letter, it goes further. Even though Trevor made this apology and everyone's like, yeah, okay, we can look past it, but we're still kind of mad at you. Unfortunately, the apology is kind of completely underwritten by the next things you're about to hear. Travis has a private conversation with a guy called Colossal Kev. Now, Colossal Kev posted these images on his DMs of his story for everyone to see. Good on Kev. But basically, it goes under the lines of Travis not still understanding what he did was wrong. Travis not being educated or not even learning of the reasons why, the repercussions of he's getting, why people are so upset with what he's saying. He still doesn't understand. And let me just read you some of these things that he said. Travis says, "Words literally can't be offensive unless they're used in a derogatory way. Basically, I think he's being a pussy for choosing to be offended. It's 2020. We live in basically a colorless society. Jess literally told Alexis she is the shit, not she is a piece of shit, and Chandler took offense." Kev's reply was, "If that's really what you think about using that word as a white dude in any context, living at mum's really has skewed what the world is really like for you in any year. I know you aren't hateful and you're trying to keep the peace here, but this justification shit ain't it. Personally," this is Travis's reply, "personally, I would never use the word. It just blows my mind that it is that offensive. Context is everything." It continued, "You're not black. There's no context where it's not offensive coming from a white person ever." Travis replies, "It is their problem if they choose to be offended. As I said, I would never use it, but get the fuck over it." Kev says, "You don't get to decide what's offensive in a situation like that, especially on this side of it. Fuck my opinion. Please consult any other black person that isn't Chandler." That's about as far as I've got with the whole situation. Jessica Griffith deleted her Instagram account. Travis Williams, even though creating some sort of an apology, still hasn't really understood the backbone of the reason why this all happened in the first place. And at the top of it, Chandler stands a legend. Now, you guys, open to your own opinion. Please give me your opinion in the comments below. However, this is what I'm going to say. As someone in my position, a white male, someone who's a majority and has never experienced racism, I will never understand exactly how someone like Chandler feels in this situation. I can't, and I never will. But even the little platform that I have and the voice that I can use is far greater than anyone else in a position like mine who's a minority. I've never been oppressed. I've never been called names specific to my skin color. I've never been questioned about my religious beliefs or anything like that. So this is to you, Travis. This is some education that I can give you. If you want a little bit more education, I've left links down in the description of a few different websites that will give you some justification. Even if you're in a situation like Travis's and you might be still like, I don't really understand why these things are offensive. Check out those links as well. Educate yourself. Become more well-known with the situation at hand. I'm not trying to inspire racism or create a riot or anything like that. I'm just trying to help you understand why this whole situation is offensive. Otherwise, the best way to really understand is by watching something that displays this and exactly what was done in real time, like the movie Remember the Titans. There was a pivotal scene in the movie where Gary Bertier and Julius have a chat about leadership and qualities of leadership. And this is how it went.
Why should I give a hoot about you? Huh? Or anybody else out there? You want to talk about a waste? You the captain, right?
Right.
Captain's supposed to be the leader, right?
Right.
You got a job?
I have a job.
You been doing your job?
I've been doing my job.
Then why don't you tell your white buddies to block for Red better? Because they have not blocked for him worth a plug nickel, and you know it. Nobody plays, yourself included. I'm supposed to wear myself out for the team? What team? No, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look out for myself, and I'm going to get mine.
See, man, that's the worst attitude I ever heard.
Attitude reflect leadership, Captain.
If you remember the scene, left side, strong side. The pivotal scene of the movie, the turning point of that movie, was where Gary Bertier stood up as a white majority for his teammates who weren't a majority, allowing his team to come together and allowing the team itself to unify under one cause, which was football. If you've never seen the movie before, it is a great movie to watch, not only because of the acting, but because of the underlying message behind it, and it's a true story. So what are your thoughts of this whole situation? I'm not trying to inspire any hate, nor do I expect you to make a comment on any of these different things. But I'm just trying to bring more awareness as someone who has a position of majority, but also a position of voice. That's all I'm going to say on this topic. And just one last thing, for anyone who ever out there was like, I'm not racist because my best friend is of color. That's pretty much like saying, I'm not a murderer because my best friends are alive. Otherwise, you guys stay a beast.